How's it, everybody? It's a beautiful day, the best weather on the planet. Welcome to Upfront with Guy Hagi. Speaking of weather, we'll be picking up and chatting with our newest member of our Hawaii News First Alert weather team, Drew Davis. Yeah, the boy's from Texas. You get to know him. Cool kid, you know. But we'll find out how much he enjoys being in Hawaii. Oh, here he is. Look, let's pick him up. Hey, buddy, you need a ride?
How are you, man?
Let's go for a ride. Have a nice little chat. All right, Drew Davis, how are you?
Guy Hagi, I'm very excited. I'm honored that you have me on the podcast today.
Come on, man. People gotta know you. You've made a big splash already. How long have you been here now in Hawaii?
It's been about a year and a half.
It's not long.
It's been a year and a half, but it's gone by very fast. I'm so excited to be here.
So what have you been doing to immerse yourself into Hawaii? Because it's a very, very different place from being on the continent.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I've done is I try to get out. I go hiking a lot. I live over on the Windward side, so I've done the Lanikai Pillbox a number of times. I wake up and go to the sunrise hike a lot, and also just hanging out with the people at H&N. When I first got here, learning how to say all the names of the islands.
So you've been doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you. Thank
Be
you.
very respectful. That's the thing, right? Like I explained to you earlier, right? People are very, very sensitive when it comes to pronouncing their neighborhoods correctly. And you've been smashing it.
I had a lot of good help. Ben Gutierrez and Jonathan Misaki, when I first started, were like my teachers. We would do the Hawaiian word of the day, and they would go through and make sure I was saying it right.
Yep. Ben is very, very good and very well versed in Olelo, Hawaii. Yeah. Now tell everybody where you're coming from.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Long way away. I grew up in Dallas.
So my condolences for your football team.
I know it's been a tough season, Guy, and I have been very upset.
Season.
Yeah, a long time. Last time we won a Super Bowl was '96, right?
Before you.
Before me. So I've never seen the Cowboys win.
Okay.
And last year I actually went to a game when we were in the playoffs.
You like misery, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so you're from Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. I grew up about 30 minutes south of Dallas in a small town called Red Oak, Texas.
Okay.
And then I went to school for meteorology at Texas A&M. After graduating, I had to look for jobs. I saw that this one was open. I was like, that's an awesome opportunity. I love tropical meteorology. I love just everything about just learning about hurricanes and everything. I know that it's not something that is common here, but we've definitely dealt with hurricanes before. Like earlier this season, we had Hone over near Craig Island,
Right.
and of course the back end was in '91 when Aniki happened.
Yeah. So has it lived up to your expectations?
It's exceeded my expectations, Guy. I love it out here. It feels like a dream come true. I have to pinch myself a lot of the times.
Now, how are you getting into the culture? Hawaiian music, Hawaiian food, all of that stuff.
One thing that I will say that I have fallen in love with, and we're so close to Foodland, is poke.
Dallas boy loving poke.
I probably walk. Our studio is right by the Kalua
Right.
Foodland,
Right.
and so I walk over there and I go to that poke, the poke counter all the time. I've fallen in love with it.
And your favorites?
The oyster sauce. I also like the ahi rimu, and the spicy ahi.
I am so proud of you, my son. I am so proud of you.
Yeah, it's delicious. I don't know what it is. I really, before coming over here, I really liked sushi. I didn't eat that much raw fish.
Okay.
But now that I'm out here, I trust it a lot more than eating raw fish in the middle of the continental U.S.
Yeah. I gotta tell you though something, and because of the way this one particular restaurateur is in Austin, I think I had the best sushi I've ever had.
I think you've told me about this before.
Yeah. But I mean, it ain't cheap because they fly their stuff in. But yeah, Austin's great. So I remember that before you came, they showed me your tape. They said, "What do you think of this guy?" And I was going, "Yeah, it's pretty good. Why is he so smooth?" And from what I understand, one of the reasons why you're so comfortable up there doing the weather in front of a TV, in front of a camera, is because you have stand-up comedy experience. What the heck?
Okay, it's not technically stand-up.
Okay.
So I did improv comedy in college.
Okay.
And I know that's like the nerdiest thing you can do in college is improv comedy. But I did it throughout high school, and then I joined the improv comedy troupe at Texas A&M. They're called Freudian Slip.
Okay.
And I had so much fun. I really felt like that was one of the things that helped me, think quick on my feet. Just be able to continue talking.
But that's not why you did it.
I did it because I love comedy. Yeah, I've had a love for comedy. I watch a lot of stand-up, and just being able to make people laugh is something that I really enjoy. And I want to get involved out here. I need to find an improv troupe out here.
Okay. There are a couple, you know that, right?
Yeah.
In fact, close to the station, I think there's one.
Really?
They're near the Dole area. I'm not really familiar with them, but I know they do improv like a couple nights a week. So watch for Drew doing improv on stage.
I really miss it. I loved doing it. It was just such a good creative outlet.
Okay, now you've made quite a splash in the year and a half you've been here. Apparently, a new poll came out. God. And the poll says that you are the second sexiest man on TV.
Guy.
What the heck, Drew? Right on. I'm sure your mom's very proud about that.
I told her and they all laughed at me. Yeah, there was a poll that came out. I think it was Mark Carpenter was the sexiest news anchor in Hawaii.
Okay.
And I was a far second place.
Still, second place. Although second's the first loser.
I guess we can look at it now.
I do know comedy somewhat. What? So you recently engaged?
Recently engaged. I'm engaged to my my beautiful fiance, Ashley Palm.
Okay.
And we've been dating since about the beginning of my senior year of college. She's a meteorologist as well.
I know you guys are a weather nerd couple.
Yeah, she went to Texas A&M. We were in all the classes together. So if you see us on a plane and we're looking out the window, we're probably pointing at the types of clouds. We really don't talk about weather that much at home because we both do it for work.
I've been to get-togethers at parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And like Ben was there, even meteorologists from other stations, and we all end up in a circle talking about stuff. It's the worst thing ever. Worst thing ever. And I find myself going, what are we doing?
Why are we talking about the weather?
Yeah, but it's really funny. And that's the cool thing, right? As a common denominator amongst our entire viewing audience is during a newscast, right? You got political stories, education stories, crime stories, right? And then weather, right? And sports. But the only thing that bonds everybody together and they can all relate to is weather.
Yep.
You can see, feel, and touch the weather. You can't say that about anything else in the newscast. And I think that's why the weather thing is pretty much a connector for everybody.
I find it to be very special, even though weather is small talk, like you said, it's something that connects everybody. And it's everybody can talk about it. Everybody's affected by it. And, even if we have the best weather on the planet, you're welcome. That's your line.
You're welcome.
It's still something that impacts everybody. It's something to talk about.
Now that you've been here a year and a half, have you traveled around? I've seen you on Maui. I know that. Have you traveled around?
Yeah, so I have traveled around. I've been to Kauai. I've been to Maui, and then earlier this year I was lucky enough to go to Hawaii Island. Whenever we were talking about Hurricane Hone earlier, we actually sent myself and Casey Lund out there to report on the storm, and that was such an awesome experience. Obviously, we were reporting on the dangers of the storm and the damage. Right, I know a lot of people were affected by that, but getting to see the storm and the power of the atmosphere right over on Hawaii Island was a really impactful experience for me. We were out there in the Lower Puna area, and we were standing on one of the lava flows out there, watching the storm.
Ain't that wild?
It was like a moonscape. It was one of the most impactful experiences of my life. It was everything had come together. weather. Obviously, I'm a huge nerd for tropical meteorology, hurricanes. Getting to see that just offshore, the giant waves rolling in. Also on the Hawaiian landscape, we were seeing the lava flow as well. It was really powerful.
What's the best thing about your job, you think? Is it just that you're realizing your goal, of all these years of doing it, or are there other things that you really find rewarding? What is it?
One of the things I find rewarding is that Hawaii News Now allows me to. I typically go out live a lot, sometimes doing live reports, and getting to meet people that way. People out in the community has been really rewarding, and it's always so nice when people come up to you and say, "Hey, we see you on the news. Thank you so much for talking about the weather," and just getting to talk story with that guy.
That's the coolest part.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's always been so nice. On Hawaii Island, we had that experience. I think countless times. We've had coming up to Casey and I. Everybody knows Casey over there.
He could be mayor. He could be running for mayor. You got a real job, Mr. Mayor Alameda. So, have any surprises that you didn't expect when you moved to Hawaii?
I'm going to take us back to earlier when we were talking about, this is, even though we have very similar weather year round, is so active. There's so much more going on than just sunshine and clouds. That's been the big surprise for me, because I've told some of the meteorologists that I worked with back on the continental U.S. that this is the most active market I've worked in. Even though that we just have sunshine and we have so much going on. We've got surf, we've got big flood events, we've got hurricanes, we've got drought on leeward areas. There's so much to talk about. Yeah. And that's been a big shock for me, is I was so used to going, talking about severe weather, big cold fronts, intense heat, hurricanes.
Right.
And now I'm doing that still, but just beautiful weather year round. There's just so much to talk about.
So are there other things? What else you want to do? Because you haven't seen everything, and it's like we're a whole world unto ourselves, because there's so many different things and experiences that you can hardly get to. So there's still got to be more things, right, for you?
Yeah.
And it's hard because you got to actually write them down and put them on a board, or else you'll never get to them.
Let's see.
You want to surf, you said, right?
I do have a surfboard. I've been a couple times. I'm not very good at it.
Well, it's a long learning process. Yeah. You can learn to be a competent snowboarder in 3 days.
Yeah.
You cannot learn to be a competent surfer in 3 years.
Yeah. I need to go surfing more. I do want to get a little bit more involved, like see some of the comedy scene out here.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to do stand up, give it a shot. I also just want to make sure I go to all the islands. I haven't been to Lanai or Molokai yet.
Are those the only ones you haven't been to?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That was those are two of the islands that I want to go to. What else should I do, Guy? You gotta
just don't. I don't want to offend my friends that play pickleball.
Yeah.
But you're too young to play pickleball.
I'm too young. Okay. Should I stick to tennis for now?
Yeah. Go play tennis. Go play something else.
Oh, you know what we should do, Guy? Let's go golfing. I grew up golfing. I played golf in high school.
I didn't know that.
Go golfing.
Oh, okay. That we can do. And we have, obviously we can golf 365 days out of the year.
Yeah.
And you can't say that for many places on the continent, right? And then the cool thing is getting to be involved with the tournaments that come.
Yeah.
Right? You got pretty soon we'll be going over to Century to see the best of the best play.
Yeah.
Right? And then the PGA is going to move to Wailea, so at the Sony.
Yeah.
And then after that, the champions, the older guys, go to Hualalai on the Kona side of Hawaii Island. So there's a lot. You just got to make sure you load up on the sunblock, drink a lot of water, and that's like our advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Guy, you've been interviewing me. I've got a question for you. What advice do you have for me going forward here at Hawaii News Now? What do you want me to do in my next few years here?
I want you to be yourself.
Okay.
I think that's the one thing, that's a piece of advice that a wise old sage told me years ago. He said, be yourself. You can't be anybody else. And he also said, tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because a lie will always come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So that's it. But otherwise, your joy for this place will come across in your reports, and everybody's going to rely on you for that. They're going to be more accepting of you because you have that. I think what people don't appreciate is when people come here and they try to impose themselves on the place.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. I've been told that, like, then, you need to accept Hawaii. You need to,
Yeah.
embrace yourself in the culture.
Yeah, and I think that's just in your nature, though. You know what I mean? I mean, you wouldn't have lasted this long of gained so many friends if you weren't that way. Let's put it that way. And I rarely see you, right?
Yeah, we never see each other.
We never see each other.
We saw each other on Maui. We ran it
Strange.
We ran into each other at the airport.
Strange. Yeah, because I heard somebody call my name and I'm going, oh, yeah, who is it that's going to tell me, oh, yeah, your weather was wrong yesterday or something. And it was you. It was really nice.
Yeah. I had just gotten down from Haleakala when I saw you there.
So have you had any bad experiences yet? Like on air or whether people always ask me that, what was the worst thing happened to you? You ever freeze up or do you get nervous or that? What was your?
I think I've frozen up a couple times. There's still the nerves. I think the thing that was the toughest for me was just getting started. It was such a
You're unsure of the audience.
Yeah, move. Yeah, I'm so far away from family, trying to meet friends. Just recently graduated. I think that was the toughest part. But that is sailed. I feel very welcome here.
Anyway, Drew, it's been awesome. We're glad you're on the team. You're one of the valuable members of Hawaii News Now, our first alert weather team for sure. He makes a lot of the graphics, by the way, that all of us rely on. We're talking Billy as well as Jen and I. We really rely on his expertise making the graphics, so it's really helped a lot. So thank you, Drew, for that.
That's something that I love doing. Getting to make the graphics and making it look all smooth. I don't know. That's something that I've really gravitated towards. So I appreciate that you guys use it.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. We're glad you're on the team. If you see Drew around town, tackle him. Make sure you get a selfie with him.
Yeah.
And know that you'll be talking to the second sexiest newscaster in Hawaii, Drew Davis.
I think that was a fake list. I think you're pranking me, right?
Drew, thanks a lot, man. We'll be seeing you around. Glad you're in-house.
Thanks, Guy.
Mahalo for listening to this episode of Upfront with Guy Hagi. Download for free and listen anytime, wherever you get your podcasts.